Hey guys, Brian Grossman here with Georgia Afield. I am out here today on a wildlife management area not too far from my house, doing a little preseason scouting and also hanging a couple trail cameras. Now, I know yeah, I'm hanging trail cameras on public land, and there's certainly a risk involved with that, but to me, the intel that I get out here from those cameras far outweighs any risk of theft. But having said that, I do take a few precautions to try to minimize my risk of getting my trail camera stolen out here. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. Now, first off, when I'm working public land or scouting public land, I typically stick with cheap trail cameras. So the one I got here today is a covert scouting camera that I've had for several years. I paid less than $100 for it when I got it, and it's been around for a while. So obviously I don't want to get it stolen, but if it does get stolen, I'll be a lot less upset than if it was a $400 Reconyx or something like that. So I stick with cheap trail cameras. Secondly, I am off the beaten path here. I'm not hanging these trail cameras on a food plot, 200 yards from a parking area. I'm a good half mile, 3/4 of a mile back from any access. I was looking at a cutover area, thinned area that's going to provide a lot of food and cover for deer this season. And I'm hanging some cameras on the periphery of that. This happens to be a creek crossing. Seeing what the deer are doing coming in and out of there. So again, I'm off the beaten path, using cheap trail cameras. Third, I make sure I'm putting a Python style cable lock on these cameras. Again, that won't stop 100% of the thefts, but it will slow them down. They would have to, in most cases, they'd have to make a second trip with a pair of wire cutters or bolt cutters to get that thing down. And then lastly, one thing I'm doing that's probably saved me from more trail camera thefts than anything is I'm hanging these cameras roughly 10 to 12 feet off the ground, pointed at a downward angle. I typically carry a climbing stick with me to do that. I didn't today, but I was able, the way this tree was laid out here, I was able to climb up in the fork of the tree a little bit and get the camera angled downwards. And that, for one, it puts it up out of the line of sight of anybody that just happens to be walking by scouting or small game hunting or whatever. And it also, again, it just takes a little more effort if they are going to steal it. So it's definitely not theft proof. Hopefully when I come back in a few weeks, that thing will still be there and I'll have some pictures and see what's going on here. I actually bumped a nice buck off the top of the hill here when I walked in. So that's your public land trail camera tip. For more great hunting information or information on trail cameras, trail camera surveys, check us out at georgiaafield.com or on our Facebook page at Georgia Afield.